In this demo, we'll be showing how you can use Okera to implement consent management on your data lake for privacy and compliance regulations. New regulations such as GDPR or CCPA give several rights to consumers for their data. One of the key ones is giving consumers an ability to provide explicit consent for how their data can and cannot be used by your organization. In this video, we will show you how Okera can help you implement consent management at scale for your data lake. One way to implement consent management is by creating a whitelist table. This table comprises of rows representing consumers and columns representing the consent they provided for their data usage. This table can then dynamically filter views based on consumer consent. Let's see this play out in an actual example. Here we have a transactions dataset that has personal information such as email address, user ID, and IP address. Now we also have our whitelist table. For the purposes of this demo, we will only show 3 users so we can clearly understand the different consent playing out in the whitelist. User A doesn't give consent to anything. User B gives consent to everything. And user C gives consent for their data to be used for analytics, but not for email purposes. Let's say you have 2 personas in your organization that need access to this data, a marketing manager and a data scientist. First, we've created a view for the marketing manager. When we join the whitelist table with the transactions dataset, this is the view that the marketing manager gets. She doesn't see any data about user A, while user B's data is available. However, since user C did not consent to use of their email data, it is not available to the marketing manager. Now we've created a separate view enabled to expose users that have consented for their data to be used for analytics. In this case, we're going to look at it from the point of a data scientist. Again, we have joined this whitelist with the transactions dataset to get this view. However, you can see in this case, user A's data is still not accessible, while both user B, who gave full consent, and user C, who gave consent for analytics, is available. Instead of having to rewrite data every time that a person gives consent or opts out, which as you can imagine would be a very costly endeavor, the data is dynamically filtered out on access using the whitelist. In order to implement the actual physical delete, you can then schedule a periodic job, running every 30 days for instance. Now you can imagine how this could be used to provide consent management for millions of consumers at your enterprise. As a recap, we've just seen how you can use Okera to implement consent management by using a whitelist table and creating secure views that join the whitelist with all the data used for analytics in the data lake. All of this happens dynamically without requiring any duplication of the underlying data or any ETL.